My grandma is the craziest person you'll ever meet. My name is Lucy Beth Adams, and today I'm giving my tribute speech to my grandmother, Sandra Blunt. My grandma has shown me everything about confidence. She's shown me how to be a hard worker. She's shown me that I need to say yes to plans, and she's shown me how to have fun while doing all of this. Growing up, I used to be a very timid person. I got scared, I let people push me around, and she really showed me what it looks like to have confidence and how to not let people push you around, but she still had fun doing it, and she was still a very kind and nice person. She is the most confident woman I've ever met. Growing up, my mom told me stories about my grandmother all the time, and one of those stories was how she was behind a chicken truck one day. That truck crashed, and instead of just going by and watching all the chickens flutter around, she decided to get out of her car, grab all the chickens, and push them into her car. So she had a herd of chickens in the back of her car. She drove them back to her farm and released them. Now, she had chickens before this already, but she let those chickens go. And in the process, she did not sit there and think, oh, I wonder what these people are thinking about me. Oh, do I look crazy doing this? No. She was thinking, how can I save these chickens' lives when they're just let free and they're out in the road while being in a wreck? Like, she just grabbed them, put them in her car, and took them. And that story shows a lot of confidence to me because she didn't care what other people thought about her. So once I heard that story, I decided to start implementing that in my own life. I decided not to think about what other people thought about me. I did what I wanted to do. I did what I thought was right. And it's helped me so much along the way. The next story I have is from my uncle. So, growing up, my grandmother rode horses, and she taught me how to ride horses. So it's kind of a family tradition. So my uncle was telling me about one time when she fell off of a horse, and she did not want to get back on. Well, the same thing happened to me. And I fell off and I broke my arm, and after I was healed, I thought, I don't know if I want to get back on a horse again. Well, she sat there and told me the same thing that she told my uncle growing up. When you fall off, you have to get back on. Now, those words in the moment only resonated with me for getting back on the horse and riding the horse. But later on in life, they started to resonate as when you fall off, you get back on. When you're sad, you pick yourself up. When you're down, you have to find a way to come back up. You can't stay down. You have to get back up. And I think that helped me a lot in my life. And seeing her constantly getting back up and getting back up and getting back up helped me. There was one point where she had fallen off of a horse around the same time as me when I broke my arm, and she broke her arm as well. Well, like I said, my grandmother's crazy. She decided to cut her own cast off so she could get back up. I'm not suggesting that to everyone, but she did do that. And I thought she was crazy in the moment, but now it all makes sense. Another story about my grandmother is me, my aunt, and my mother were out at Christmas one time, and we were searching through a field, and we were going and looking for cow bones. I don't know why, but as we were looking, my grandma comes across a coyote den. And we were like, we need to steer clear of this coyote den because they may be in there. It was during the day too, so we thought that they were in there. My grandmother, at 78 years old, decides to dive headfirst into this coyote den to pull out the cow bones. And she showed me that she is fearless and she will not say no to anything. While there's some things you should say no to, yes, but she showed me that in fun moments and in fun times, just because you're in the moment, you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this, I don't know if I want to do this. You need to say yes to everything. Because saying yes can get you so far in life. It's about networking, it's about creating friendships, it's about just expanding your horizons. And another thing my grandmother taught me was hard work. Now, hard work is hard to come about, especially nowadays. A lot of things are just kind of handed to us and given to us. And I had a very privileged life, so I had a lot of things handed to me. Every single time my mom would drop us off at my grandma's house, me and my 3 older brothers would have to sit there and run her farm. I would always have to go down and pick up the eggs and do the garden and skin the fish, which was a little frightening as an 8-year-old, but it taught me a lot about how to live off the land, live with what you have, and be very grateful for it. She's inspired me in so many ways, and I'm so thankful for that. The last story I have is about a time where my grandmother helped save a life. So my grandma was a nurse but in her, working years, she was a nurse. Well, recently, my aunt's father, other side of the family, became very ill. And we knew the symptoms, and the hospital just kept sending him home. And they were thinking, oh, he just wants to get medicine or whatever. Well, it turns out he had a very severe condition, and my grandma fought to get him well. So she was a healthcare worker. She knew what was wrong with him, and she fought for what was right. So she's taught me so much on how to stand up for yourself, how to be confident, how to be a hard worker, and everything in between. I'm grateful to give my tribute speech to my grandmother because I do not think I would be the person I am without her. And I think that she's just the most amazing woman, and I'm super thankful that I've had her in my life growing up. And I'm very thankful that my mother has seen these same traits, and I think that if my mom, my uncle, and all of my mom's siblings had to choose their tribute, it would be for my grandmother as well.